JBL is horrible. Bottom line, his in-ring skill is extremely limited, his personality is almost non-existent, and his look really isn't that great minus his height. This guy's boring, from his stupid finishing clothesline from hell down to his bland and muted tights. I honestly don't know what the hell WWE is thinking by placing this guy into high-tier storylines and giving him title shots. I don't think they have any plan whatsoever to put the strap back on this guy, and I have to believe the next heel to come down the pipe and get a fan reaction is going to step into his place. I think working with Shawn Michaels is a last-ditch effort to make him mean something, but even now, all it's doing is making Shawn Michaels look like an idiot. I'd be extremely surprised if he's still a key player this time next year. His confrontation with Shawn Michaels this past Monday was pretty intense, and honestly, the most interesting thing I've seen JBL do, which isn't saying a whole lot about him, though I did get a good laugh for about 5 minutes when he referred to himself as the Wrestling God. Jillian Hall makes me laugh. She comes out, she sings horribly, and then she has mediocre matches. There isn't much good to say about her either way. Honestly, it took me a few minutes of staring at her picture on the website to even remember who the hell she is. She just doesn't stick with me at all. Her in-ring performance is at best mediocre, and she's pretty much exists just to put more fan-appreciated divas over. Although there is something cute about her, I can't describe what it is, and I'd kinda like to see them turn her face just to see what happens. The tag team of Cryme Tyme are still walking out on Raw every week for two reasons: fan reaction and because they're the only tag team on Raw to challenge Miz and Morrison, but that river's drying up pretty damn quick. They have their moments and can be funny. They offer some levity after a complex storyline segment on the show. On the mic they're pretty good, can't really complain there, although I'm getting a little sick of the Ebonics. I often wonder if it bothers them to be portraying such a negative stereotype as the two leading black athletes on Raw. Unless some fresh blood arrives to revitalize the tag team situation on Raw, these guys are going to continue to be first or second match of the night, and that is it. As much as it hurts me to say it, I used to be a big Kane fan, but he isn't quite what he used to be. Maybe I'm alone on this, but he needs to put that mask back on. I loved Kane when he first arrived on the scene. He was the big red machine. He feuded with The Undertaker. It was classic. Once the mask came off, he lost half of what drew me to him. He has tremendous size and look. His ring skills are so-so. Every once in a while he busts out some high-flying move that nobody else his size does, but he's slowing down and he's losing his connection with the fans. They tried to push him as some insane psycho to feud with Mysterio. The same thing they're doing with Mike Knox right now, but it really didn't take, and he hasn't done much since then, since beat up random guys in pursuit of KellyKelly. More than likely, he'll move to SmackDown or ECW in the next draft, unless they come up with something better for him to do. I enjoy Kane, I really do, but I have to be honest, and he hasn't done anything to make me want to watch him lately. KellyKelly is truly the definition of a bland star, sort of the female John Cena. Her skill is lacking, her personality on the mic is pretty weak, and I think her look alone is what keeps her in the game. She's already falling to the back burner behind Beth Phoenix and Melina. I don't expect to see much out of her in the coming weeks, possibly interjecting her into some storyline that will involve tag team matches of her and Melina against Beth and someone like Jillian. She's easy on the eyes, but there's more to that than being a competitor in the WWE, and she just falls short of what a diva should be. Kofi Kingston is by far one of the most exciting newcomers the WWE has. He has been a big hit with the fans ever since he first stepped out on ECW, and you can tell because Vince moved him to Raw pretty damn quick. Some of the high-flying moves this guy pulls off blows me away. I'll mark out for this guy anytime. He's fun, he brings an energy to the ring nobody else does. When he comes running out of the back smiling and jumping around, he gets you going. He's like a firecracker in the ring, and you never know what to expect. I'd like to see him improve his skills on the mic a little bit, which I believe is the one thing stopping him from being a top-tier competitor. I'd say if he keeps improving his in-ring skill and develops more of a vocal personality, he'll be able to do more things. I see Kofi holding a title, more than likely Intercontinental, for quite a period of time this year. Speaking of which, he qualified for the Elimination Chamber match at No Way Out. I don't expect to see him win it, but I do believe he could give a really good showing. Depending upon how well he does and continued crowd response, I have to wonder, could this be your next Money in the Bank ladder match winner? Mickie James is kind of the grandmother of the divas. She's starting to fizz out now. Her pop from the crowd isn't what it used to be, and her in-ring performance seems to be subpar. That being said, she's still a better worker than the likes of KellyKelly and Maria and a few others, but I think her days of being a champion are done. I see her hanging around for a little while longer, taking part in tag matches and being fodder for champions the likes of Beth Phoenix, but I think she's been walking downhill for a few years now, and it's doubtful to see her return to the top of the mountain anytime soon. Mike Knox is yet another monster in a series of monsters unleashed specifically to feud with Rey Mysterio. This guy's big, he's tough, and he's like a bulldozer in the ring. Technically speaking, I'm not impressed with with his moves or the way he carries himself, but he has a look that McMahon obviously likes. However, following the feud between he and Rey that they're going to develop and he'll probably fade into the back. I have to be honest, I'm a pretty big mark for Randy Orton. He's by far the top talent on Monday Night Raw. He's got the total package, a great look, great technical skill, and he's good on the mic. In my opinion, Orton should be the champion right now. He won the '09 Royal Rumble, and that was a move in the right direction. My personal opinion, this guy is being built up to be the next champion, and a victory at WrestleMania would be incredible for him. I love watching him in the ring, pulling off some of the moves he does, for instance, that inverted backbreaker. The RKO is one of the top finishing moves right now, next to maybe the Code Breaker, and he pulls it out of nowhere. Legacy's a neat concept, and I'm very curious to see where it would go. Surprisingly, this guy's becoming a fan favorite. Every week, there are more and more cheers for him, and he's starting to develop a little bit of that Stone Cold complex where no matter what he does, the fans pop for him. If John Cena has the teenagers and the kids, Randy Orton's got the adults and people like myself who have been watching for a long time. If Jericho is the heel you hate, then Randy Orton is the heel you love to hate. Although I do my best to be unbiased, like I said, I'm a mark for this guy. Rey Mysterio. I've loved this guy since the Lucha Libre days of WCW Nitro. When I watched him pull off that amazing Hurricane Rana on John Morrison at the '09 Royal Rumble, I was blown away. Moving him to Raw was a great choice. He's one of the best superstars they have. Unfortunately, they don't have someone who can match his moves and his speed. His match with CM Punk at Armageddon was memorable, but I'd like to see someone come along who has a similar style. Imagine what kind of a pop that match would get. All in all, Rey's exciting, he's fun to watch, and he pulls out some moves that I've never seen anybody else do, and they get the crowd popping. Technically sound and visually fulfilling, I don't think we've seen all he has to offer yet, and all it's going to take is the right matchup to completely orbit his already skyrocketing stock. When was the last time you saw Santino Marella without a diva? It seemed like he jumped right from Maria to Beth Phoenix, but I have to admit that Glamorella makes me laugh. Santino's excellent comic relief, his elimination from the Royal Rumble almost had me in tears with how damn funny it was. He's never going to be taken seriously. He's never going to be the best match on the card. I was a little annoyed that he held the Intercontinental title for as long as he did, but he was pretty funny with his hunka-tonka meter. I like his dynamic with Beth, though. It'll be interesting to see where it goes now that she's lost the Women's Championship. What can be said about HBK that hasn't already been said? He's done everything there is to do in the WWE, held every major title, had incredible matches, and single-handedly saved the JBL-John Cena feud from being a total snooze fest. He's getting a little too old to still be doing his high-flying and show-stopping. This whole idea of him working for JBL is getting old, and it's hopefully building up to something a little bigger than just a match between the two of them at No Way Out, which I think is going to be underwhelming. I don't think he has too many years left in the WWE, and more than likely he's only got one great match left, but he better do it soon before he's not able to compete on that level anymore. Undoubtedly a fan favorite, and his skills speak for themselves. Maybe this year we'll see him make a switch to SmackDown for a lighter schedule and an easier time, plus that opens the possibility for a DX reunion, which I think everybody wants to see. Ted DiBiase, son of the $1 Million Man. Haven't seen too much from him yet, but I have liked what I have seen. He's got skill in a ring, and although his mic work leaves a little to be desired, I think teaming him up with Rhodes and Orton in Legacy was a bright idea. It'll be interesting to see where 2009 takes him, and if he follows in his father's footsteps, he's probably going to be a heel for quite a while. I think it would be fun to see him turn against Orton or Rhodes and have a feud with one of them somewhere down the road. He's one of these guys where he's kind of out in the open right now, and it remains to be seen what exactly he's going to do, but I look forward to seeing where he goes. William Regal. I can't adequately express to you how much I dislike this guy. He bores the hell out of me. His whole union with Layla is stupid and pointless in my opinion. When he's in the ring, though, he makes it look like he's killing his opponent, which I gotta give him credit for. I'm not sure how long this angle with CM Punk's gonna go on, but Punk carries it well and Regal makes a good foil. Beyond that, I can't say much about him. It seems like every time he climbs the ladder, he does something dumb behind the scenes to knock himself back down. He's much better as a general manager or for comic appeal, like the way he refers to Triple H as Triple H. I can't wait for the new King of the Ring to be crowned so they can stop calling him the King of the Ring. This guy needs a new and exciting personality, or he needs to just fade away. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my opinions on my first broadcast. In a few days, I'm going to give my combined SmackDown and ECW roster review, followed in a day or two by the TNA review. Next week, I'll go back to what my normal shows are going to be, weekly episodes where I'll answer your questions, I'll discuss storylines, and give my opinions on what's currently happening in the world of wrestling. If you'd like to take part in the episodes, send me your questions and comments, and I'll get to them as soon as possible and even cover some of them on the show. That's it for today's episode. Hope you had a good time, and I'll catch you next time.